Okay. Do I have to copy these things now? Oh, why does it make me do that? Okay, 1 second. It's like it goes live all the time on its own, and then today it's like, you know what? Why don't you just put in a bunch of new stuff?
Why should it be easy, Jason?
Yeah. Slash group slash. All right, I think that's right. Okay. Uh, cool. I think we should be able to go. There we go. We're capturing it there. Awesome. We're live there. Just give me 1 second because Facebook will let's go. Let's just put that in there. Hit refresh. Come on. There we go. Okay, right on.
Hey, good morning, everybody. My
Oh
name is
yeah.
John DeYoung. We're ready to go here, Jason.
Yeah, I want to welcome everybody to the thing that we got John DeYoung here with us today. This is the start of what I'm hoping is many Great Friday workshops that we're putting on with people who are really experts in what they do. John DeYoung owns a print shop in Victoria, BC, and he's used reviews over the last couple of years to make himself completely stand apart from every other print shop, not just on the island where he is, but also throughout BC and I'm going to say North America, because you guys are getting orders from all over the place now, just because of how many really how many reviews you guys have. So you stand out when somebody looks for a print shop, whether they're looking for signs or, I mean, you can tell us everything that you guys do there, but you have a ton of people messaging you now and reaching out because you have hundreds of reviews more than everyone else. So I'm going to let you walk us through what you introduce yourself, I guess, and then tell us everything you do.
Yeah, great. Thanks, Jason. So, my name's John. I've been in the sales and marketing business for over 40 years. 16 years ago, my appendix burst and I almost died. And something really, you have kind of a life revelation. And what happened was my boss kept calling me and saying, "Hey, John, when you come back to work?" And I'm going, "Dude, like I almost died. Like, I get back when I can get
Yeah.
back." And I went back to work, and I was working for the Jim Paslin Automotive Group with a large dealership. We were very blessed, doing very well here. And but when I got back to work, I measure everything, and it's really important in this business to measure things. And my performance had gone down by 40%. So my head was out of it, and I still had the exact same talent that I had before. I had the same amount of leads coming in, the same amount of opportunities, but I just wasn't in it anymore. So my wife and I decided to get a bigger mortgage on our house, and we bought Alley Cat Signs, which at that time was called Alley Cat Insta Signs. Now,
Okay.
the reason I got into the sign business is because I knew at that time, if business is good, people need signs. If business is bad, people need signs. And good for you guys, you're in digital marketing, and it's the exact same situation. If business is good, people need more digital marketing. If business is bad, people need digital marketing. If people are afraid of tariffs, they need digital marketing.
Right.
Okay. Whatever the situation, they need digital marketing. But the biggest problem is who can people trust and how much should it cost? Now, I don't know about you, but I've bought things from people like Jason before, and I bought things from that were way more expensive and way less expensive, and I gotten free things. And the price that you pay is not always commensurate with what you get. It's not always you get what you pay for. I had one guy that I paid $15,000 American to, and luckily I got smart before I uh, finished up going down that road, and I canceled it on my credit card. But I've been ripped off on digital marketing in the past for my sign shop. I 10 years ago, I didn't really know what digital marketing was. I knew that there was Facebook, and I knew there was Google. But here's a funny story. The very first Google review I got, I done signs in a lawyer's office, and he really loved it. And he goes, "Hey, thanks a lot, John. Can I leave you a Google review?" And I said, "What's that?" Now, good news is I had Google Plus, so I'd already set that up for my business, and that's what it was back then.
Yeah.
So he says, "Well, come on around the backside of the desk here," and he gets on the keyboard and leaves me a 5-star Google review. And I said, "Thank you very much." And then I never looked at it again for another 2 years. Like I never replied to the Google review or anything, and I didn't know what it was. So fast forward about 6 or 7 years after that, I'm just surfing the web one day and I'm looking at my competitors. And I don't know if any of you guys have been to Victoria, but it's kind of called the brewery district. There's probably 4 or 5 breweries that, well, I can't do it, but my son can throw a lacrosse ball to probably 5 breweries around here.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's the same thing with,
My kids play lacrosse too.
yeah. And it's the same thing
Yeah.
with sign shops. Like there's one, two, three,
Oh yeah.
4 sign shops that again within 2 blocks of me, and I'm the fifth one. So what sets us apart? Well, I looked at one was Fast Signs, and they had 69 Google reviews, and I looked at mine and I had two. One which I remember getting, the other one just someone stuck there, and it was like a
Oh,
nothing significant. They gave me 5 stars, but it was like one of those things that try to get you to sign up, so they give you a Google review. Okay, so I've got 69 Google reviews at my strong competitor that's a Fast Signs, it's a franchise, and I've got two. And I'm thinking, like, how am I ever going to catch those guys? So I started asking clients for Google reviews. And Jason, can you pop up on the screen now our Victoria
yeah.
location?
Sure I can.
Share that.
Give me 1 second here. Uh, yeah. So there's your Victoria location.
So right now we're at 713 Google reviews. Our rating is 4.9. I've got hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of 5-star Google reviews. And you know how I got them? I asked for every single one. Matter of fact, I asked for thousands.
Yeah.
So there came a
And
point.
that's from people coming. That's not just automating things. That's people coming in the store and, hey, would you please leave us a Google review?
So this has started 7 years ago. So this is me asking clients for a Google review and sending them a link to my Google business profile and say, hey, can you please leave us a Google review? And then
Yeah.
and I did this all manually. There was no such thing as cards back then. We had no NFC cards. We had no QR codes or anything back then. Um, and then so what I'm saying is that uh, it's not easy, even with automation. Jason is just developing these Google review cards. This is a tap card, and the other side of it's got a QR code that you can scan. These aren't programmed. And this is what I do now. This is one of the services that AlleyCat Signs and Marketing offers. So when I told you the name of the company when I bought it 15 years ago was AlleyCat Insta Signs.
Yeah.
I had to change the name because I bought the company. My wife and I bought the company, so we changed it to Alley Cat Science and Marketing. I had no idea what the and marketing was going to be at that time.
Right.
You're right. So I just put it on there because I thought, well, we'll figure that out later. Then COVID hit. So I had already gotten a couple of hundred Google reviews just by asking people and sending out the link to my Google business profile. Then I bought an automation, or I signed up for an automation for a company from Toronto, and they would send out basically what we do now with Jason, or what you guys do now with through GHL. Then I found out about Go High Level, GHL, and I signed up with them. And then I was able to bring the automation in-house, and now I had total control.
Yeah.
So I've used, I actually bought and paid for Jason's,
Smart reviews.
yeah, your reviews program. I plugged that into our system, and now we do it, and I sell that, and I sell that to customers. One guy that I retail for 297. I sell it for 197 a month to him because he's my best friend. He
Yeah.
owns
Yeah.
Oregon's Flooring, and he literally said to me, John, why didn't you sell this to me before? I'm getting dozens of Google
Right.
reviews, right?
Yeah.
So the automation was that he does for me, that I use the power tool for, the review tool, is he emails me a CSV list of his clients with
Right.
an email address and a text or a phone number.
Yeah.
May or may not be a mobile phone number. I plug that into the system, and I do that for him. And he was getting 20 to 30 reviews. Now a lot of his business is repeat business. So obviously once you've got a review, you can only get one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But here's another thing that I do. Because our business is marketing, we can set up anywhere in the world. So I have a son that lives in Phoenix, and I created a secondary location, and I've not sold a single sign in the States. Well, up until about until November 2024.
Okay.
Okay, I've not sold a single sign, but I do offer digital marketing down there. But what I do, and Jason, you can pull that one up as well. So we have 52 reviews, and you can see there that we're set up there as a service area business. So you see how there's a circle around
Oh
Phoenix.
yeah.
So that's how you set up your clients as a service area business. So you have to put an address in there. So my son's address for where he lives in Glendale is in there, but then you can put down up to 20 cities that you do business in that area. And then if people are searching for digital marketing company near me and they type in Glendale or their location is Glendale or Phoenix or Goodyear or whatever,
Yeah.
well, we have a good chance of popping up there.
Nice.
So I actually, if my clients have done business with me over and over again, I say, hey, thank you so much for leaving me a Google review in Canada. I know you've already done that. We're expanding into the States. Would you mind leaving us a Google review there? So now I have Google reviews there, and I have Google reviews there from
Yeah.
um, uh, a, a consultant that I work with in Kansas, um, people that I helped. I did some graphics at the NASCAR track in Phoenix.
Yeah.
My
Yeah.
son worked at the time, but a lot of those are consultants or people like you from Victoria or from Vancouver, or Toronto that I've been able to help out. So don't be afraid to ask for a Google review. And the client doesn't have to have done business with you. It's a testimonial. It's a testimonial about how good you
Right.
are, about whether you're a business of integrity or you're a man or a woman of integrity.
Yeah.
That's what people know. Because remember what I said early on, people don't know who they can trust and they don't know how something should cost, how much something should
Exactly.
cost. This is what you're doing. You're building your own credibility for your business. All that you're doing is asking people to say what they already believe. You're not asking people to lie. You're not asking people, um, to exaggerate. I say, if you think it's appropriate, do you mind leaving us a 5-star Google review? Well, why do I ask for 5 stars? Because why
Some
not?
people will not leave you 5 stars.
Some
I,
people will
I've
not.
I've heard so many stories of people who are like, I've seen oh the service was amazing. These people are great. The experience was awesome. 3 stars.
Yeah,
Why? And it's
yeah.
like, well, I don't give 5 stars because nobody's absolutely perfect. Um, we were kind of similar. Like, so when we first got into high level, and that's where we built smart reviews was COVID had just happened. We had closed down our fitness marketing business because they were in Canada. Everybody was shut down and they were shut down for, it was like almost 2 years really before they actually came back. But we had a bunch of local businesses we were doing reviews for. We got into high level and we're like, high level doesn't have the review system that our clients want. They didn't have the stars, go to a landing page, select how many stars you want to rate them, that kind of thing, and then kind of doing a bit of segmentation there as well, but also we can segment them in the background. But we also were asking for Facebook reviews and not just Google reviews, but Google and Facebook and Yelp and TripAdvisor and a whole bunch of other review sites that were niche to what our customers wanted. And I just didn't want to pay, honestly, I just didn't want to pay multiple subscriptions. So I was like, well, let's build, and that's where smart reviews came from. We built that, and then for us, the next question became like, can we then ask for referrals as well? What do we do to kind of maximize what we're doing? So that's kind of where smart reviews came from. And same kind of thing. Like I think getting reviews is so important. We've got like just for example, we've got one hair salon that we work with. Again, they're similar to your friend. They're one of our friends. Um, they're out, I think they're out in Whistler, and we hooked up their stuff through Square. So every time a transaction comes through Square, we can automate through Zapier getting them a review. And over the last like year that they've been doing, I think they've added like 200 or 300 reviews to their salon, right? So who stands out when you're looking for those reviews? And you walk into, I think it's important too, though. You walk into so many businesses and um, I think this is important. We've talked about this a lot in some of our other marketing groups and on some of our other calls. But when you go visit a business, talk to them about marketing, right? Talk to them about reviews. Ask them how they're getting reviews. Are they getting reviews? And then show them how they can easily get reviews. Because they don't know how to do it. They're John, like they're like you when we first started out, or when we all started out, is we're asking people to leave a review. Oh, hey, would you mind leaving us a review? But then we don't have a way for them to easily leave a review,
Yeah,
right? And then so people have to go and search. They have to go to Google. They have to go search for the business. They have to try and find the business, and then they have to click on review and do it. People just won't do it. They
yeah,
don't have time. They don't have or they just forget, and or they just don't know how to do it. So it just doesn't get done.
yeah.
I was talking to a business like a week ago. I walked in. They're a newer business asking for reviews. I'm like, well, how are you guys doing with reviews? And he's like, well, I ask a bunch of people for reviews, but we've only got three. They've had hundreds of people through, but they've only had three reviews since they opened like 6 months ago, kind of thing. And they're great. They're an awesome place. So I've been trying to sell them reviews, but people are busy, so you gotta kind of stay on top of people. But it's such a good way to make yourself stand out from the crowd. Like I 100% agree with that.
Can I interject here?
Yes, absolutely.
I don't know. I see, like, I don't know how many people we got here, but is the chat active? Can we?
Yeah, the chat is active. If anybody has any questions, they can do. We probably got about 40 people on right now.
Awesome. So I'd love to see you guys on camera too. I'd love to interact if you can turn your cameras on. I'd appreciate that because
Yeah, we can unmute you too.
because
Yep.
you know what? Face to face is so important. How many how much more effective do you think a face to face visit is if you were to walk into a store versus send them an email and say, "Hi, I'm Jason. Hi, I'm Chris. Hi, I'm Mike. Could you, I do digital marketing. Would you like to talk to me?"
I can tell you from experience, it is like 100 times more impactful doing that than sending them an email.
Exactly, right? So here's the thing you guys need to understand, and I'm going to go into a little bit of coaching mode here
Yeah, do it.
because I'm a dad and that's just what I do. So, folks, just everybody out there is just like you. They want to leave a Google review. If you ask them to, 90% of them will leave you a Google review. They tell you to leave you a Google review. What they don't do is they don't have the time to figure out how to do it. They forget about it. It's not important to them as it is to you. And you guys who are on here are all digital marketers or want to be digital marketers or dipping your toe into it. I think you're all business people. You have to lead by example. You cannot sell Google reviews if you don't get Google reviews. Okay.
Right.
So if this is a community here, I've not spent much time. I don't know any of you except for, Jason a little bit. Um, you should be helping each other out, get Google reviews. You should not just, sorry, Google's listening to me right now. So,
Yeah.
but that's what you should be doing. A lot of, I'm going to ask you right now. See. Yeah, yeah, yeah. See. So, first thing I'm going to ask is if you guys could get the benefit from this, if you think it's appropriate, I would love it if you go to my Phoenix, my Alleycat Signs marketing site in Phoenix and leave us a Google review there. It could be 5, it can be a 4. Actually, a couple fours wouldn't be good because did you know that 4.6 to 4.8 is better than a 5 for a Google review rating? Um,
Why
did
is
you
that?
because especially for Canadians, we know nobody's perfect. We don't
Right.
we if you see a 5.0, the first thing that comes into your mind is a negative thought. You think they got fake reviews. By the way, I will tell you, I do not have a single bought, paid for, bribed, or motivated review there. Every single person that has left me a Google review has left me has been a customer or a mentee, mentor, or has had some sort of personal relationship with me. Even possibly even the two who left me 1-star Google reviews, and the reason they left me 1-star Google reviews was because of my personality. They didn't
Yeah.
like me, and that's okay. But you
Yeah.
know what? Let's talk about this for a second. Um, your Google business profile. You folks understand your Google reviews are the most important thing in your Google business profile. That's
They account for what was it? Something about 30%.
30 to 40%,
30%
depending on the
of
algorithm.
your GMB ranking. So if you want to show up in that map pack, have more reviews, have timely reviews.
It's all about Google reviews. It's the biggest subject, the biggest weighted topic. It's about having consistent reviews and flows. So if you sign somebody else for a database reactivation through Jason's program, uh, don't send everybody else a five-star Google review request on day one.
Right.
Trickle them out, five a day. Trickle this out over 3 or 4 months, right? Because Google rewards consistency. Google wants your Google business profile to be tickled
Yeah.
one, two, three, four, 5 times a day or a week, but it does not want an avalanche.
We
It
had
can
somebody
be,
setting up smart reviews the other day and exact same thing. They had a database of I think it was about 2,000 people.
yeah,
And I'm like, no, you want to set up drip mode and just at most we're asking for 10 reviews a day.
exactly.
And just trickle it out. I know it's going to take you a month and it's going to take you a while to get through that list, but we want Google to make it seem like we're getting consistent reviews and it's natural.
Yeah.
You. So we're
This is so
not
important
all
for
of a
your
sudden get
clients too,
500
right?
reviews in one day.
Yeah,
Kind of thing.
yeah. Now, how many people were freaked out about the glitch that happened with Google a few weeks ago, where a bunch of Google reviews started disappearing?
Oh, I heard about it. It didn't happen to us, but I know a few people had them go away and then come back right away.
Yeah, so I lost about 70 Google reviews.
Okay.
So that's 10% of my Google reviews, right? Now, do you know the best thing to do when when your Google reviews start disappearing? Or
What's
what's the
that?
best thing to do if you're getting a 1 star or 2 star, or if you've got a low rating? Get more Google reviews.
Yeah.
It's all about asking, right?
Yeah.
Excuse me for preaching here, but the Bible says, ask and you shall receive. If you don't ask, you're not going to get anything. People are not volunteering. So, um, yeah, Jason's review program with my buddy Martin from Horrigan's Flooring, we had it set up so that we would send out an email and a text request the same day asking
Yeah.
for a Google review. And then 2 days later, another email and another text request. Now, you may not know this, but texts get answered 40% more often and with more
Yeah.
accuracy than emails do. Like, how many people get emails and you just delete them or send them to junk or whatever? But when you get a
Right.
text message, you look at your phone right away. If you see, and then if another one comes in 2 days later, oh shoot, I was going to send John an email or a Google review, and then 3 days later, I have never ever gotten a low Google review because we asked too many times. I had one
Right.
guy say to me, I'm okay. I'm leaving you a Google review because you asked me so many times. Right? That's another thing.
Yeah.
Like, any of us that are parents know that it's like dad, 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 mom,
Yeah.
mom, mom. It's persistency, right? It wears you down. So now, and you're not asking anybody to do anything that they don't want to do. They can unsubscribe anytime. We follow all the protocols. I follow all the protocols.
Yeah.
And you can delete that if you want, but that's just crazy, right? They can type in stop anytime. And it used to kill me. Now it just peeves me off a little bit when I know that I've busted my hump for this client and I've gotten them great service and they're super happy with it, but they just don't leave reviews. I've
Yeah.
got this one guy who comes in and I send him a Google review request. He owns uh, a pest control agency, and he
Okay.
gets 4 new trucks a year. I do thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars of signage for this guy. He does not leave me a Google review. I just keep sending him. I mean, he doesn't. I don't even know if he's unsubscribed me or not. But he every time he comes in, he goes, "Yeah, I know I need to leave you a Google review. Someday he will,
Yeah.
right? Someday he will." But he keeps coming
Someday.
back as a client. Um, you know what's I was following something on the Google feed this morning, and Google is now experimenting with um, AI responses. Sorry, AI responses to your request. So instead of coming up when you type in digital marketing agency near me, or what's the best digital marketing agency,
Right.
instead of it coming up with the map pack and then 10 blue hyperlinks, it's thinking about and constructing its own answer and sending one answer.
And we're seeing that more and more at the top of Google already. So
Exactly.
when you ask a question or something, it'll pop up an answer for you, and that's based on AI. And and
And
giving you
where
ad.
does Google get that data from? How does Google assimilate that data?
It's going to go by reviews for sure.
It goes by Google Business Profile. So it's important to have your lots of Google reviews, but your actual Google Business Profile needs to be filled out as well. So you
Okay.
need to be every month, folks. Update your Google Business Profile for whatever your hours are. If you're doing this for your clients, if you got a holiday, if, we got Easter coming up, so don't book all your holidays. Don't set all your holidays in stone January 1st for the rest of the year. My thing is give Google a little tickle by changing your hours for the updating holidays on the first or second of the month for what your holiday hours are going to be that month.
Yeah.
So that's just another signal to Google. Well,
Well, they like
Google
to see that there's engagement, right? They want to see that you're taking care of stuff as
totally,
well.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I have a YouTube channel and I have all kinds of digital marketing training on there that just, reinforces everything that I learned from Jason and the products that I use from him. But the Google Business Profile is basically think of it as a bank, and Google goes to two different bank vaults when it does a search. Think of it as it goes to the one bank vault that it goes to is the Google Business Profile, and then the other bank vault that it goes to is the entire World Wide Web, all
Okay.
the stuff that it's crawled, right? And then it goes, okay, so here's the top 10 from there, but here's a business that has Google reviews, they have questions and answers, they reply to their customers, they reply to your Google reviews. I'm going to serve up this company that has a good Google Business Profile
Yeah.
because Google wants to give you the
So
best,
that's
more
easy as just
accurate
going
search
into
result.
your GMB and your back end and then just updating your Google business. Like what is it? Is it business.google.com or something like that?
Yeah, yeah. I,
Business.google.
I I don't remember what it is. I got a
I think
short.
that's what I'm
I'm in my
guessing at it
60s
right
now,
now.
man. I don't remember all
Yeah,
that.
that's what it is. And then you can go in and select your you can edit it. Yeah. So yeah, we've got a couple different ones. Our Regina location from years ago still gets us actually a lot of contacts. And then we have our Kelowna one. We moved here a couple of years ago, but we haven't really pushed the Kelowna one since we moved here. And I think that's just mainly because we work remotely now for so many clients. And I mean, so many other clients do as well, or so many other agencies do as well. But since we moved here, since we moved to BC, actually, we moved to Soyuz, and you can't go there because it's a small, tiny little resort town. You can't go there expecting to find work. You got to bring your business with you if you're going to move there, kind of thing. So we ended up setting up a Kelowna location, but we haven't really pushed reviews for that one. Um, what I
We'll
was
have to
gonna,
do that. I would certainly suggest on focusing on one profile at a time and get
yeah,
up. Get it where,
it would definitely be our Kelowna one for sure.
yeah, get it where you're at, and then start to radiate out from there.
Yeah. One of the things you said earlier about, and I think this is so important about walking into businesses, too. I've had so many people, like we talk with hundreds of agencies probably a month, right? Um, and some of the and some everyone's trying to just go out and do what's perceived as easy as possible, which is I just want to send out, I've got a list of 1,000 businesses. I want to send out an email to all of them, and then I just want to get customers in. But I can't tell you how many people that I've talked to who are like, I just want everything automated, but they don't want to put in the work to actually go out to get the customers. The people who are doing well, even just let's just say you want to get your first 20 clients doing reviews, getting or whatever it is, anything within inside of high level. I've been suggesting this in all of our groups, and I know a number of other people have as well. Um, Go out face to face, go out, meet people at their business, and actually have a conversation with them face to face, because there is just something so much more powerful about chatting with someone. And because everyone is either they either know somebody who's been screwed over by a digital marketer, or they just don't know what to do and they're scared of it because they either they have or they know someone who's been screwed over. They want somebody who's local. They love to work with somebody who's local if they
Yeah,
can. And if you can walk in, I can't tell you how many times I've walked in. We're having lunch at a place. I say, "Hey, we do restaurant marketing. I'd love to chat with you guys." And they're like, "Oh, you do? I want to talk with you." You know,
yeah.
um, I was talking to one of our members, Jose, the other day, and he started doing this last week. Just started walking into places, and his approach has been, "Hey, are you guys planning on going digital anytime soon?" kind of thing. And they're like, "Why? Is that what you do? Are you guys planning on asking for reviews anytime soon?" And then they go, "Why? Is that what you do?" And every time he does that, he starts a really good conversation, and then he has people asking them, "Hey, okay, I need that done. Can you help me with that?" you know so there's something so powerful, and I know Chris messaged here in chat as well just a little bit. He said they've just been walking into businesses now, and for the last month or so, and they've just been getting a whole bunch of clients from that. um Chris also, Pipka said home show season is just around the corner, and he says going to those events is like shooting fish in a barrel. Too, talking to those guys because that's coming up. How to go out and sell this kind of stuff too. Yeah. What are your thoughts on that? On that?
Absolutely. I've done so when you have I remember when I hit 300, I was trying to get my son's father-in-law to give me a review. I was at 299 and I did some decals for him and I said, "Hey, can you leave me a
Yeah.
Google review? I'm trying to get to 300, right?" And I remember hitting that milestone of 300 and it's like when now my milestones I'm aiming for different hundreds, right? 400, 500,
Right.
600. And yeah, so when you go when you get 300 reviews or more, all of a sudden now you're an expert, right? You're an
That
expert in your
makes
field.
sense.
There's a perception, right? Like 100, 200, you can kind of buy your way there. 300 in our field, like there's nobody in the sign business or even in the digital marketing business. I bet you there's
There
nobody in
isn't.
Canada with more than 400 Google reviews except for me. So I've actually spoken at the Canadian Craft Brewers Association on
Okay,
digital
awesome.
marketing. I've spoken at the Canadian and been a paid speaker at, and I'm not saying that to brag, but they're yeah, getting
Yeah,
in front of trade shows, speaking, whether you have a booth or if you can get yourself invited as a speaker, um, yeah, that is fantastic. One to many is always the best, folks. So when you can get and one to many is not sending one email out to 1,000 people. That's virtually one to almost none because
right.
those days are over. You got to walk into business. Um, I started down here, and we'll come back to this again. The Google review cards. Uh, if you
Yeah.
walk into a business and you ask them, "Hey, how are you doing with Google reviews?" Don't even tell them that what you do or that you're trying to sell them anything. Just ask questions, folks. And
That's
like
it.
Jason said, people are going to say, "Why do you do that?" Or I said, "Well, yeah, I mean, I'm a digital marketer, and did you know that Google reviews are the most important thing for getting you found on Google?" Just ask that question and then ask another question. And people are just going to talk, talk, talk. Say, listen, now might not be the time, but let me give you one of these. And this is a Google review card. I can program it to go right to your Google business profile. I sell them for $27 each, but I'm just going to give you one. Like you didn't ask them for anything, you didn't try to sell them anything. You actually gave them something of value, and then program it up and then leave it with them. And then if they like that, um, because you're going to get so many more Google reviews when
Do
when
you
a
leave it
person is
with them
standing
for a
right in front
week?
of you.
Do you say like, "Hey, I'll leave
No,
this
I
with you
give it
for a
to them
week"?
as a gift, and then I'll look to sign them up to my AI Google response program.
Yeah.
So and I know you've got that, Jason, and so yeah, that's what I do. So I sign clients up then afterwards for $97 a month or 100. Actually, I'm going away from 97. Just go $100 a month. uh,
Yeah.
100 bucks a month, and our AI, and my AI is influenced by AI. My AI is actually artificial intelligence backed by actual intelligence because I have 40 years of social
Right.
marketing experience, right? So I try to set people's mind at ease. Like AI is not going to take over the world. I oversee this and I set up the program. I just met with a hotel yesterday. They have the hotel Google Business Profile. They have a premium restaurant Google Business
Right.
Profile. They have a cafe Google Business Profile, and they have a athletic club Google Business Profile. So I said, I'll do your Google review automatic replies for you for $100 a month. for the hotel, and I'll do the restaurant for 75, and the other two are so small I won't even charge you for those. So still waiting to hear back, but
Yeah,
it'll
yeah.
probably get, what does it cost me? Because I've got such a great bundle deal that it cost me virtually the same to do one as it cost me to do four. But their perceived values, they've gone from $400 a month of cost down to 175 for all four. But you know what that does? They've got over 3,000 Google reviews. If each one takes you even 30 seconds to read the review, look at it, find the appropriate pre-written Google response, copy it, paste it, put it into there, click send. I'm literally freeing up hundreds of dollars a month of usable, billable time that client could be, that marketing manager could be doing other things for, right?
Right.
Like you have to present a case where this actually pays for itself. It gives you time back. You're
And
planning
I'm going to be
not
honest
to
with
do
you.
this.
I think that what you're charging them is like cheap. Like you could be charging, you could definitely be charging more for it, and they would still pay for it.
Right. So
Right.
this is my AI program where so what they get with this is they get for $97 or $100 a month, I'll give them a total of five cards so they can have five
Yeah.
different employees that have cards. I will give them the AI will automatically respond to their reviews, and we've got it set it so it can reply to it. It does it randomly using AI
Yeah. Okay.
in 20 minutes and 2 hours later because Google wants it in a certain time frame. But if it's 20 minutes after every single time, Google knows that they're okay with you using AI, but you don't want it to be too regimented, right? You got to have
Right. Right. Right.
you want to mimic humanity as much as possible.
That's what, yeah, most things Google for sure.
Yeah, we also offer Review Shield on there, so and they can choose to use it or choose to not use it. It can go direct to the Google Business Profile, or it can go to a filter where either a happy face or sad face comes up, or
Yeah.
the interface can be changed. It can be they can rate you 1 to 5 stars. If they give you either a sad face or they click on, depending on the other interface they use, 3 stars or less, it sends you an email and sends them to a different uh, path, and you will now be able to deal with it. Hey, you've got a negative review here. Now, most of the time, because I already have 700 Google reviews, people are liking us. So if I get a negative review, it's either someone that's confused, they've pressed 1 star, they click on the first star and they think they're clicking, that's why I say,
Right. Okay.
give us 5 stars, click on the star in the far right, all these little tweaks that,
Yeah,
you need to
I've had
know.
people click on the first 3 stars before
Yeah,
and then leave feedback
yeah,
instead of like, oh, you guys are amazing. You're 5 stars. And they were like,
yeah,
what you pressed 1 star. I
yeah.
don't know. Anyways,
And then to continue on with my system,
yeah,
is it'll
absolutely.
automatically post to your Google Business Profile. So you give us access to your GBP, and we'll take every couple of days, we'll take a recent 5 star Google Business review and put that into your Google Business Profile as a post. And we'll also
Nice.
push that out to your Instagram and your Facebook and your LinkedIn if we have access to all of that. So that's all included in the automated system. Now, then there's your system, which I use for my other guy, Martin, and another clients, and that's where we're doing the database remarketing, where he's sending
Right.
us the data, and we're doing that. And for that, obviously, I charge more. Um,
Yeah.
for that, we
Okay.
can build in again with the AI responses. So, Nathan, are we printing the cards yourselves? No, the cards are printed in China. They're NFC pre-programmed, and Jason will help you guys out with that. I've connected
Yeah,
him
we've
for that.
got some hookups that we're working with right now to get NFC cards printed using our QR code system, so they can have them pre-numbered and pre-coded. So when they come in, you can just pick the cards that you want to deliver, put in the URLs that you want, and then I got something new that I want to show you guys too that we're just rolling out, which ties in directly with Google to be able to capture people's information. So we're not just getting the review into Google or into high level where we can reply to it, but we're also collecting the person's information when they go and do it. So before I do that, though, there was a question that came in. How do you tell clients who say that reviews are slowing down compared to how they were when we first started with them, or they say they feel like they are all good now that they have over 300 reviews? I can answer. This came in. It wasn't for me. I think it was my wife who was on here who posted it under my name. But for me, I would say, let's just make sure we're muted here. For that, Google really, well, first of all, customers really want to see new reviews. It's important for customers to see new reviews when they're looking up a business. So there's some customers who won't trust reviews if they're older than like 6 months or a year because businesses change, right? Businesses either just even change hands or a manager changes, staff changes, things change, right? So you want to get that consistent flow of new reviews coming in, even if you have 300. Everyone else is still out there getting new reviews too. Timely reviews are super, super important. What, John, what do you say about that?
Absolutely. Google over 90 days old is persona non grata.
Yeah,
Not only to yourself, but or to your clients, but also to Google. The weighting of a Google review after I believe it's after 6 months, it's like nothing, right? So they
right.
take, okay, we got 300, but they've had no activity in 3 months. That you're dead to Google. Like it's
Yeah.
all about tickling the algorithm on a weekly basis.
And that's not, and that's more for getting them showing up in the map pack and giving your GMB like more power to
Yeah,
show up in searches and AI and stuff like that because you're consistently showing that you're collecting reviews,
yeah,
right?
it's so
Um,
important.
yeah, if you slow down on that, it shows that you're stopping engaging business.
Yeah,
Google is not going to know if you've decided that, hey, we're just not doing this business anymore and we're not getting any more reviews. They want to see, just like so many other things too, they want to see those little touch points that you're continuing to stay active.
yeah. If you're on a flat road, there's a little race car from NASCAR. If you're on a flat road and you take your foot off the gas, what happens? Eventually you stop and
Slow down.
everybody
Yeah.
passes you. So you can never take your foot off the gas.
Yeah.
And you know what? When tariffs start and you've got your foot off the gas, now you're going uphill or whatever the fear of the month is, okay? It could
Yeah.
be tariffs,
Right.
could be COVID, it could be winter, it could be flu season, it could be schools in, schools out.
Yeah.
Interest rates go up, interest rates go down. There's always going to be a fear factor, folks. You can never take your foot off the gas. If my competitors took their foot off the gas. They had 69 Google reviews. I had one. I
Yeah.
now have 700. They have, I don't know, look them up. I bet you they don't have 150, right?
Right. Right.
I'm the authority and I will continue to be the authority and I will never stop being the authority. What does it cost you to get Google reviews? $100 a month? Okay, here's something else. Do you want to have good employees? If you are coming to
Yes.
Victoria, Jason, if you're coming to Victoria, you want to relocate to Victoria and you work in the sign business or you work in the marketing business
Yeah.
and you do a search of the best sign shops in Victoria because I want to go and I want to be an installer for a sign shop or a salesman for a sign shop. A's got 100, B's got 200. Most of them are around or 100 or less.
Sure.
And Alley Cat's got 700. Where do I want to work? Right? Or, A's hiring and B's hiring. So Alley Cat's hiring and the other guy's hiring. They're both offering the same job. They're both offering the same wages. They're both offering the same benefits. We both do barbecues on Friday, for our staff, which I get to do in a couple hours.
Awesome.
But one's got 200 Google reviews, the other one's got 700 Google reviews.
Yeah.
Whose business
You
is going
want
to
to
be
you
more
want to work at
stable?
the good
I
place. You
offer
want to work.
stability because the market comes to me, right?
Yeah.
Or you. I'm not. I put yourself in my position, folks. I'm just an average guy who's not afraid to ask. And the more it's like being, do you want to be do you remember at high school standing, all the guys are on one side of the gym, the girls are on the other, and you got to ask somebody to dance sooner or later. And
Yeah.
really, they want you to ask, but they're afraid. They're not gonna volunteer to give you a Google review. But if you ask them and you make it easy for them, it's a lot easier to say yes than it is for them to stand on the other side of the wall and say,
Absolutely.
you
I
know,
want to show you guys before we wrap up this call. There's something new that we added to smart reviews with NFC tap cards. So Chris just said before I do that, Chris just said fresh reviews. If you have left a review in the past for a location, you can ask your customers to update or refresh the
yeah,
review. You totally can. With our smart review system, we tag people out of being asked for a review for 6 months. Just so that, if you have a customer come in and you have repeat customers, you're not hammering them with review requests, right? Because we do have a 10-day follow-up system that's already in there. Day one, day two, day five, day 10, we're asking for or reminding them for review. Then we put them into a referral program as well. However, if we just when we know we leave a review or we ask them for review, if they don't answer, that's fine. But we're not going to ask them again for a little while. Now, one of the things that we're adding in and enhancing our review cards with is so we've got the review card. This is just one that I printed out here. I put a label on it that I got from Staples with a QR code on it. I'm gonna pop up this QR code, but I want to show you something really cool. If you guys want to scan that QR code, you can do that with your phone, provided that you're not on your phone. I think that should
Mhm.
work for you. And let me know if you guys can do that. Am I sharing my screen? No,
Um,
sharing my screen here. Can you guys see that QR code? Yeah, I see it there. If you guys can scan that or see it, what that's going to do, I'll leave it up for like 5 more seconds. What that's going to do is it's going to bring you over to a page like this. Now, this is a new way of collecting reviews. Now, because we're asking people to leave us a review on Google, we're asking them to just click this button. What it's automatically going to do is take them to this page. They just click on who they're leaving a review through, and then it's going to bring them directly over to the review site to do it. Now, that doesn't seem too spectacular on its own, but when we come over into contacts now, because we did that whole Google thing, now we're collecting people's contact information inside of our CRM so we can follow up with them. We can say thank you for leaving us a review. We're tagging them as GMB review here, and we're following up with them right away. We're going to add on another thing that asks them to confirm a phone number on there too, if they want. That'll be an option that we have. But now you can go into any of these businesses that that you want to work with, or if you have your own business and you're asking people for that review, you quickly they can just tap it. And then what happens is, yeah, we're going to then collect that contact information for future follow-up and future marketing, right? You can then not saying depends on where you sit with this, but you can offer them a reward for leaving a review. You can give them a coupon. If you tied this in, let's say with our promotion system,
no, let me
you
just
can
save you
you can
something
deliver a
there.
coupon as well.
Yeah, let me just say something that you
Yeah,
can't offer them a reward for leaving a review. You can offer them a reward or a coupon for signing up to your mailing list.
true. Right.
I just wanted
I would never say I would never say you'll get this if you sign up or give us a review and we'll give you this.
yeah,
I would never say that, and I don't recommend anybody saying that.
yeah,
But you can say, "Hey, welcome to whatever it is. Let's say, welcome to Alleycat Signs. Thank you so much. Here, thank you for joining our list. Here's we're adding you to our promotion system,
yeah.
kind of thing. You can do that kind of stuff. Or hey, you just joined our reward system as well.
I know you know that. I just think you misspoke it. That's all. I
Oh
just
no,
want.
no, no, no. I wouldn't. Yeah,
Yeah,
and I've seen people do it before too.
yeah,
But if Google catches wind of that, that's 100% against their terms,
yeah.
and their
Can you
policy.
imagine losing 300 Google reviews? Getting your
Yeah,
profile taken down,
there was
all that work because because you tried to screw the system. It's a rough
there
place.
was a franchise, actually one of the franchises that we used to work with, that we don't work with any longer. I saw like a year later after we weren't working with them, they did send out a whole campaign to everybody on their list. I think not even just I think through their own list, but through the franchise. So it's probably to everybody saying, "Hey, leave us a review and get entered to win the entered into this contest
Yeah.
for whatever." I don't know if they lost their reviews or not, but it was that's I was like, oh no, don't do that. Anyways, but the point is that now with this system too, you can enhance what you're doing for reviews. So you have them for follow-up. And
I
you can
love
do a
that. I
lot
love
more
that,
with
Jason. That's
things.
fantastic.
And you can add it into any automation or whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
down the
Yeah.
road too, which just takes it to a whole other level because one of the problems we've always had is we have the tap card and we ask for or QR code even, but because people are just leaving, we just don't know who it is, right? We don't know who those people are. But
Yeah.
now, yeah, you have a server walking around, they finish up, they pay their bill. Oh, would you mind leaving us a review? Tap it. And then we now know that person came into the restaurant, and we could do more things like that or whichever business it is. So I think it just adds a whole other level to our system.
Jason, you gave me two other ideas, and I don't want to take
Yes.
up too much of your time, but
I'm
I'll
all for
wait
ideas.
as long as everybody wants. But I put in the chat there, ask clients to add photos to reviews. Photos in your Google reviews are so important. They like quadruple the value of your review, not only for the clients, but also for the Google algorithm. So
Nice.
super important. So, I have repeat customers. They come back in over and over and over again, and I do send them a Google review request. But you guys, I love this. You guys have triggered a thought for me. So I'm going to ask them just to add a photograph of the latest product that we added. And that
Right. Yeah.
so that tickles the Google algorithm again. Plus, it adds photos. So Google has a photo search as well, right? So now you've added another photo. So that's another thing to improve your position in Google Business, your Google Business profile, right? And
Yeah.
so you've increased your ability to be found in search. Now, I just want to, I'll end this, my planned thought to end here is
Yeah. Okay.
how important is Google review. Let me tell you how important Google thinks it is. On your Google business profile, you can put your services. So your services could be um, Google review optimization, SEO, those kinds of things. Those are services. Google allows you 300 characters to describe a service. Let's talk about products for a second. So we sell A-frames, little.
I was wondering what that was.
This is an A-frame, right? It's what I keep on my countertop down below, and it's got my price list for the Google cards, and I have the
Yeah.
desktop version and the.
You charge monthly for those then?
No,
Or are those one time?
those are one-time charge, and you
Okay.
own it, and it goes directly to your profile. So Google will allow me to put 1,000 characters to describe a product. When you get a Google review, and a client leaves you a Google review, whether it's a good one, bad one, or not, Google allows you 4,000 characters to reply to that Google review.
Okay.
A Google review, just to reply to each individual one, is at least 4 times more important than your products and your services on your Google business profile. If Google's putting that much weight into it, it doesn't it make sense for us to just focus on that, right?
To use it, yeah.
Like that's a tool that you're not going to get that information everywhere, folks. That is common knowledge that's not commonly distributed. Okay, it's out there for the public, but reply to every single Google review. Use the product or the service that you look at my products. You look at all of my reviews. I replied up until 2 months ago. I replied to every single one of them personally. I use their name. I thank them. I talk about the product and service that they use. I
Do
say I
you
can't.
have them tagged in your CRM then for which product and service that they got from you?
Not necessarily, but I'm still very hands-on. We're only a small six-man
Yeah, yeah.
shop here. We're a boutique, right?
Yeah, yeah. Because I know how important it is. I'm just wondering how, yeah, it totally makes sense. Even if you're using AI to be able to pull in the product and service that they got and then
Yeah,
mention that in the review. I was
yeah.
just wondering, yeah, if that's something that you guys do.
And the jury is divided because Google doesn't say what they use in their algorithm.
Yeah.
We kind of have to figure it out. But there's no way Google, some people say they're not, but there's no way that Google is not scraping the data that's in the review replies. So load that up with keywords in your Google reply, in your reply to the Google review, load that up with keywords. What's the worst thing that can happen? Your clients read it and they go, "Oh, they did a great job on A-frames for this client. They did a great job
Right.
on SEO for this client. Chris did a good job with getting me Google, this Google review clients, right?" That's the worst thing that can happen. What's the best thing? The Google algorithm picks up on that and go, "Oh, that's a keyword. That's a keyword. That's a keyword." And maybe this week the algorithm doesn't do that, but how often does the algorithm change?
So often.
very often.
Yeah,
I
it
can make
does.
a comment about, you know, well, whatever. It just changes pretty regularly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know during COVID, you mentioned earlier, and we'll wrap this up, but I remember during COVID, when COVID happened, we are getting tons of reviews for clients. They weren't showing up for like 3 weeks to a month because they were doing so much review about stuff. And I don't know if it was whatever they were doing, but they would get reviews. They just wouldn't show up for, yeah, it was like 3 weeks to a month. But then all of a sudden, those reviews started trickling in, the ones that people were getting. But just like COVID, when things seemed like they're hitting the fan, I had customers during COVID who did not stop marketing. They put their foot down and went harder. And they came out way ahead than the people who slowed down and said, "Oh, well, now's not a good time to do it." Um, so yeah, anyways, it's time to forge ahead for everybody here. Courtney asked, is it or illegal to send favorable reviews to an or less than favorable reviews to another outlet instead of receiving a negative review? I think if you're going to segment and you still leave people the option to leave a negative review, then you do it in the same one because it's not. You don't want to not get negative reviews. You just want to get way more positive reviews than you do negative reviews. So again, being in that 4.5 to 5 perceptually, psychologically, to the people who are looking at your reviews, that's going to make more sense to them than having a perfect 5.0 record in Google. Because yeah, again, think about it. If you go look up a business and it's like 5.0 and you've never been there, you're like, how many of these reviews are actually legit? You know what I mean? Even if you're looking on Amazon for a product and they've got 5 reviews and they're all 5 star, you're like, are those real reviews or are those the reviews that they put in there for the product? I know that always crosses my mind. Don asked, can you explain how the cards work at the business location? So we essentially set up the cards for the business in our CRM. We create the NFC tap cards. You can get them pre-programmed, or these are ones that this one here is just one I ordered off Amazon. And then you can just slap a sticker on it and program it through your phone. Then they just have the card, and all they have to do is hold it out, and then they just have it like this. The business holds out their phone. Let me just log in here for a second. Here, you just tap it. It's going to open up on my phone. Maybe the card's not working right at this moment. I don't think it likes. I've got a big metal plate on the back of my phone that
It's just a QR code
there we
that
go.
redirects
It
right to
just
their
opens like
Google Business
that.
profile.
It's yeah, so you can do a QR code or you just tap it and it'll open up like that.
Yeah.
I've got a giant metal plate for a magnet for my truck. Anyways, so that doesn't work for me, but it works really well for everyone else. Or they can just scan a QR code. All right. John just said maybe you can read what you just said.
It's not how you get Google reviews. Look at the letters, HOW. Just rearrange those letters. It's
Yeah.
who you are that makes clients want to leave you Google reviews. Guys, you're not going to become a digital marketer with a big mailing list. You've got to go out. Well, if you want to be successful, you need to go door to door and talk to people in your local area. That's the most effective way of meeting people. It's the exact same thing with Google reviews. It's not about sending emails. I've used Jason's system for years. It does work, but an in-person Google review card is 90% more effective. Um,
Even for doing demos and showing them how they can use it, so effective.
yeah,
If you can walk in and give them a demo on their phone in like 2 minutes and be like, hey, this is how it works, they're like, I like that.
yeah, yeah. We
Um,
have to break down the barriers, make it
yeah.
as easy as possible, the path of least resistance, right?
And you know what? It seems like for us, it seems like a passive path of more resistance because you have to get out of the house, you have to go out, you have to talk to people, you have to communicate with people. Everybody pushes the send out 10,000 emails and you're going to get a bunch of customers. It works when you know who your customer is and you know exactly what they're going through and you have your marketing all dialed in. But until you're at that point where you can afford to pump out a ton of ads to get customers to have them come in, your best bet is to go have all those conversations. Anyway, um we should wrap it up. It's been a great hour chatting with you. I appreciate everybody being on here and sticking it with us for this entire time. I got one to clarify. I'm speaking in terms of setting up a workflow. Where the form that asks how did we do? Yeah, so you can totally set up. There are total workflows that you can set up inside the system. We have workflows set up in all of our system to do exactly what you're talking about there, Courtney, to segment people. Google doesn't want you to not segment people. They don't want you to not filter out who you're asking for reviews for. They just don't like it you blocking people from leaving a negative review altogether. So they're not going to expect for you to have a client that you absolutely hate who doesn't like you, who didn't work out, and they're not going to expect you to go and ask them for a review. But you want to be able to ask the people who love you for reviews, right? Um, John just put his email address in there. If you have any questions about his process, about how they've set it up, or how they've got started, making that transition from print shop to marketing agency who's helping more businesses around them, including more products and services, absolutely reach out to John. Also going to put a link to our smart review system in the chat there as well. So if you guys are interested in that, check that out too. If you guys have Power Tools, it's already in there. And if you guys have our review system already, or if you have Power Tools, these NFC cards are available. Like the system is already set up, so you just have to set up the review system, and you're good to go with collecting reviews through Google. So yeah, I will. We've got this recorded, so we can send out a replay. We're going to throw it up on YouTube and stuff like that as well. And I think you can find it in our chat.
Is anybody interested in leaving me a Google review? Did I offer good content today?
Yeah, go leave John a Google review. Wonder if we could put the
Like
to
that.
for Phoenix, right? Let's see if we can
Yeah,
find.
so I put that in for Phoenix, and that's got the filter on it, so you can see the happy face, sad face thing. So how the Google review card with works with that, and I think Jason's implementing something like that. So
Yeah,
that's just an
absolutely.
option, right? So yeah, Jason, thank you so much, and I still owe you some banners or something like that too,
I
right?
know.
Right?
We did a good trade before, and I've never ordered anything.
That's all right. I not only do I keep it up here, but I have you on my accounts payable still.
Okay, awesome. Well, again, John, I appreciate you being on here. You guys, I appreciate you guys being on here as well. This is the start of many Friday workshops. So you guys go out, enjoy your Friday, be productive, go talk to some customers and get things rolling because that's all we can do is keep moving forward, right? So thanks again, you guys, and we'll talk to you all on the next one.
Thanks, Jason. Appreciate being here.
Yeah, absolutely, man. All right, thanks. Okay, bye.